burning calories, and it has nothing to do with that.
It kills the digestive fire.
You turn completely, and we understand that that's Agni is that breaks down the nutrients. Agni is that we need to help to build the tissue, and yet that's the first thing that we're turning off right before we even ingest anything. Yeah, it's crazy. Ideal time to drink water, one glass right after waking up on an empty stomach, and again, no ice cold water, right? 1 glass 1 hour before or after breakfast, 1 hour after lunch, 1 hour after dinner, and 1 glass before bedtime. Okay? Healthy tip, always avoid ice. Fasting. This is something that a lot of people don't. In Europe, do they fast in Europe? Is that like common?
Yeah.
Families?
We go to saunas every Sunday, but it's almost like a Japanese tea ceremony. Like when we go to sauna, it's different, and then you drink lots of water there, and then you rub yourself with herbs, and all Sunday long.
So yeah, many cultures do fast. We don't know what fasting is in the U.S. I don't think it's, it's nothing that is taught to us here.
People are like, I drive fast.
I drive fast.
I drive fast all the time.
You what fast?
Drive.
I drive fast.
I drive fast. That's as far as we go. But yeah, fasting is really important. It says in India, fasting is related to religion, but really it is related to health. Fasting is restricting foods for a certain time. Fasting is giving time for Agni to digest any undigested food. And they relate it to religion because there are certain times during certain Hindu celebrations that you should not eat. But fasting should be something that should be part of our, like you said, weekly routine, where you need to take that time. And it's not, for Pitta and for Kapha, fasting should be different. Yeah? So a fast for Pitta should be different than a fast for Kapha.
Could you also do just eat smaller portions than usually? Could that be also half a fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just eat less, or one type of food maybe for a whole day or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would work too.
Yeah, when we say fast, it's not, there are different types of fast, and we cover that here too. But yeah, fasting could be, I'm going to eat half of what I normally eat. If you, serve your food every day in the same bowl, well, that bowl, cut half of that. And that's fasting as well. Okay? So yeah, that's where we have to kind of modify that according to the dosha and according to the individual as well. And according to what they're, if they're not used to fasting, you cannot have someone fast for a week, right? They've never fasted in their life, and now you're going to tell them you've got to fast for a week. Can't do that. So slowly, right? Maybe have them fast for a meal. If they're used to having 3 meals a day, then just, have 2 meals a day, or have 1 meal a day, or cut those meals in half, depending on what the imbalance is. If there's, there's a lot of too much Agni, right? We want to cut those, reduce the amount, but don't take the food away. Don't take too much of that food away, right? Fasting strengthens Agni. In Ayurveda, it is said that all diseases can happen due to weak Agni. It helps to burn Ama. It gets rid of gas, breaks down excessive dhatus, creates energy, makes the body light, sharpens the indrayas, which are the senses, preserves health. These are all effects of good, positive effects of fasting. These are the types of fasting. Nirahara, which is no food at all. Sajala, which is, where you can drink water. Nirjala is no water and no food. Okay? So you have Nirahara, which is no food. Sajala is just water, and Nirjala is no water either. Phalahara. eating just fruits. That's another good fast that you can recommend to individuals that are not used to like fasting. You can tell them, okay, just eat fruits. It says it, so it's good to fast. So it is good to fast periodically. A person should watch his or her constitution, age, strength, season, condition of Agni when determining the type of fasting. While fasting, one should observe that he or she does not deplete the energy. So yeah, if the person is too weak, you have to watch them fasting, okay? It's not recommended. So you have to really watch recommending a fast. Like I said, start with something as far as maybe reducing some form of food, one of the food, one of the process, taking that away and start with that type of fasting. Signs of good fasting: clear bowel movement, no gas, clean tongue, fresh breath, no lethargy or heaviness, lightness in the body, happy mind, full of energy. Kapha people ideally should fast once a week. Pitta people may follow Phalahara, right, which is just eating fruits. Because Pittas, we can cook the fruit, you know. We can eat raw too, and Pittas will cook the food. Raw food is not good for Vatas. Not good at all for Vata. Too dry, too astringent.
But they love salads.
They do. They do. That's why I tell you, like, you have to watch it, because you'll have a lot of clients, and especially, you know, if you're working in the yoga community, you've got yoga students, you'll have some of these people that are obsessed with, you know, eating healthy and exercising, and it's like you're doing all the wrong things. And how to convince them that they're doing the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, that's the thing, like, you can't, like, if I have someone coming to me and they're like, oh yeah, I follow this diet, blah, 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 it's like, and their ego is, there's no convincing that. So unless they're coming to me and asking me for help, I'm not even going to say anything. Like, oh, boys, yeah, I practice Ayurveda and it helped me, blah, blah, blah. But that's as far as you can take it.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to receive it.
Yeah, or you'll still have some clients that will come to you
And still not want to hear
and
it.
still not want to hear it. You know, because they want the quick fix, and they're used to having, well, you know, take this little herb, because that's what they think. What herb should I take? Right? Where's the magic herb? And it doesn't work that way. So, yeah, you know, slowly, we'll reach them slowly. Kapha people need to, for Vata people, following 3 meals a day is a good fast.
Why is that?
Because Vatas don't eat regularly. So sticking to a routine is
Balancing that, so
Yeah.
that's what it
Yeah.
is. Okay.
because Vata is so irregular that they could eat breakfast, they may not eat breakfast, they may eat lunch, they may eat breakfast at 11 o'clock in the morning or eat it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's just so not regimented. Okay, Virya. The Virya of a food or herb is its heating or cooling property. Okay? Virya has nothing to do with the external ambient temperature of the food. It is an inherent quality, like the hot nature of pepper. Even if one freezes a pepper, it still warms or burns the tongue when consumed. When an herb or food substance is put in the mouth, the first experience is its taste. Later, and in some cases immediately, one feels its heating or cooling energy, either in the mouth or stomach. This effect is all due to its action or potency called virya. Virya is associated with a food's potency or power. When practitioners refer to a food's energy, they commonly refer to its virya. The vernacular label would be cooling or heating effect, meaning the quantity of the food possesses of the energies of fire or water, Agni or Soma. Right, so we understand the virya is that the quality, basically, right? What It says it's not that the food is hot or cold as far as temperature, is what effect does it have, right?
Are they neutral? Or is it always either heating or cooling?
Well, it's gonna have an effect. No, we live in a world of duality. So is a food gonna be a neutral, is it gonna have a neutral virya? No. Virya is its potency, so it's gonna have a guna, it's gonna have a quality of it. It could be drying, it could be light, right? It could be light, it could be oily, it could be, so it's gonna have a potency of it.
Is there a list of that?
I think in the back here, you may have some food, and I don't know if it has the virya.
Well, but I mean, are there any foods that don't cause a cooling or heating? They just.
What?
I'm asking because I was at the vet with my dog, and she's an acupuncture. She does the Chinese herbs, and she was talking about meat and asking what I feed my dog, and she was saying that chicken is heating, beef is neutral, and something about duck being neutral also, but like chicken and turkey are heating.
It's only in
So
Chinese.
I was asking
Yes.
if in Ayurveda
Yeah,
there's
no.
a neutral.
No.
In Chinese there is.
Yeah.
There is things like that. They have neutral foods, and then they have heating, and then they have cooling foods.
Okay.
Yeah. Beef is neutral.
Beef is neutral. Vipaka. Vipaka, after the rasa has been assimilated, 6 to 7 hours after ingestion, 3 post-digestive tastes remain. Sweet, salty. Sweet and salty have a sweet vipaka. Vipaka is the after effect, right? Sour has a sour vipaka, and bitter, pungent, and astringent have a pungent vipaka. So the 3 vipakas are sweet, sour, and pungent. Okay? Sweet, sour, and pungent. Those are the 3 vipakas. Because sweet and salty all become sweet. Anything that's salty, the after effect, which is after 6 to 7 hours of ingesting, salty will become sweet.
Okay. So hypothetically, you leave pungent out of your 6 tastes. Does the fact that you had bitter and astringent and that the vipaka is pungent make up for it, or you have to have those tastes at the initial taste? Does that make sense?
No, the initial taste is going to be bitter, pungent, and astringent.
Right.
And the vipaka is always going to be pungent.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is that if you leave pungent out of your, like, you have a recipe.
You're not eating anything that's pungent.
Right. But the vipaka of bitter and astringent
Will be
is there,
pungent.
so that counts as the pungent.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's also kapha, pitta, and vata. Okay? Kapha is going to be the sweet. Pitta is going to be the sour. And vata is going to be the pungent. Okay? Because bitter and astringent and pungent will always be pungent vipaka. So you have to, again, go back to basics. So it's going to be kapha, first stage of digestion, kapha. Second stage, pitta. Third stage, vata. So the vipaka of the taste as well is going to be kapha, pitta, and vata. Yeah? It's easy to remember that way because 3 stages of digestion. We talked about that, the gross digestion. Okay? Remember gross digestion. Gross digestion, we go through Boda kapha, eating, right, mouth, stomach, and then that's first 2 hours, it's there. The next 2 hours, it's in the small intestine. And the last 2 hours, it's in the large intestine, the colon, being eliminated. That's gross digestion. We talk about vipaka, we're talking about the basic taste after ingestion. So anything that's sweet and salty is going to become a sweet vipaka. It's going to become kapha. Anything that is sour will remain sour and will be pitta. And anything that's bitter, astringent, and pungent will become pungent. My intestines just made it funny, like that. Right? It's going through that digestive process. Any hours
Because
is it
you were
there?
talking about the
It's
stages.
been 2 hours. Yeah.
So in the stages we're saying hello.
Hello.
It's a saying.
Going up to stage. Hello. I'm here. Yeah. So does that make sense?
Yes.
So yeah, even though you don't eat pungent, the vipaka for astringent is still going to be pungent. Okay? So that's the effect after digestion, the post-digestive effect. So madur, sweet and salty, promotes kapha, amla promotes pitta, and katu, pungent, bitter, astringent. So it's gonna stay that way. It's gonna be sweet, which is madur, amla, sour, and katu is pungent, regardless of whether it's bitter or astringent. Okay? It's still gonna be pungent. That's what it's called. It's pungent. So there are 3 vipakas. So there's 6 rasas, but 3 vipakas. So, we talk about the 6 tastes, but there's 3 vipakas. Prabhav. Now, prabhav is a quality that gets, the rule is broken. That's why they have no rules, right? Quality that breaks all the rules. Because honey and molasses are sweet, but paradoxically have a heating energy. Because, sweet is supposed to have a cooling effect, yeah? But the prabhav of honey or molasses is heating. So it doesn't go with the rule of everything that's sweet is cooling. It breaks that rule. Okay? So in another instance of prabhav, the sour taste is usually heating, but limes, which are distinctively sour, are cooling. Right? That's why when someone has indigestion or whatever, they add drink some lime water. That actually helps with indigestion, with heartburn, and how can lime aid in heartburn when it's sour? Well, the prabhav of lime is actually cooling. Right? Because sour foods are heating. That's why it's the vipaka for pitta. All sour foods are heating, but limes, which are sour, are cooling. Ghee in doses of about 2 teaspoons with a cup of milk is a laxative, but in smaller doses, it's constipating.
And I have a question. You hear a lot of people drinking water with lemon juice and cayenne pepper, and they're like, "Oh, this so," but it's the opposite.
Well, the cayenne pepper is there to
Heating.
help. Yeah, well, it's to add agni.
But then
So they
lemon
do
juice
that.
is
Is cooling.
So isn't that
But they also add the molasses. If you're talking about the what is that called, the lemonade diet or whatever, they add the lime, they add molasses to that, and they add the cayenne pepper. So that's, if you think about it, that's like a digestive,
To water?
right? Yeah. They do, who was it, Beyonce or one of those lost, I don't know how many pounds doing some movie that she did on that diet. She did that diet for 21 days.
just drinking that in the morning? Yeah.
Drinking that all day long. Because the
That's
molasses, yeah, that's it.
But I
The
doubt
molasses
it
gives you the energy, the cayenne
It
pepper
has a
has.
lot of
has the-
nutrients, the
yeah,
molasses.
Molasses has a lot of nutrients.
Oh, yeah?
And that's like a fasting, yeah. So, it says other illustrations of prabhav, except for the Indian gooseberry and pomegranate, all foods of sour taste aggravate pitta. Right? Pomegranate is, even though it's sour, it's astringent. That's why I said you don't like astringent. You like pomegranate, eat pomegranate.
Because it's so sour and I like it because it's
You like it.
crunchy.
Yeah, you like it. So eat, you can eat it. You can eat it, you can drink the juice, because it's astringent as well. So, yeah. Except for sprouts of guduchi, Tinospora cordifolia, and patola, Trichosanthus cucumeridina. All foods of bitter taste generally aggravate vata. Right? We know that bitter foods increase vata. Right? All bitter, pungent, astringent increase vata. Well, these sprouts of guduchi don't. They have the prabhav does not aggravate vata. And except for pipali and ginger, all foods with a pungent taste aggravate vata. So ginger does not aggravate vata. Actually, ginger is good for vata, right? Someone that is a vata constitution or vata vitiation, you add ginger, either to ginger tea, ginger to the food. Pipali as well. We don't have the long pepper here, but food guidelines for vata dosha. Now this is where the good stuff comes in. This is where the recommendations, where we get to see what type of foods, and there's more of that list. And I said that she was going to try to get those copies for us, where it has the listing of all the foods. You can bring that book to Satlav's book.
She had it here.
The one that has all the foods? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can probably pull that out so we can see, because that's... It's some lunar there. Let's see. Yeah, this also has, I love this, it has the sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic foods, talking about sattva, rajas, and tamas. You all have this book now?
Yes.
This book is amazing. I like that one, the sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic foods. Do you have that book?
Food.
You
I
have,
have that book.
you do?
Yeah.
Good book to definitely, if you are questioning a nutrient or food guidelines for vata dosha. Let's take a little break actually before we start this.
How long does it go today? Till 4? 4 o'clock.
Yeah. 30 minutes. Just a 5-minute break. Okay? Is anybody for? Yeah. I didn't hear it. Pero Juan Carlos called me. Juan Carlos? Yeah. Juan Carlos. Juan Carlos, porque sí, por lo de receive your assignments?
Yeah, I
You can
have
go
mine
over
here.
that. Here you go, Mrs. Yes. One of the assignments is to,
The assignment is on the back, like, the pages that
Make one of the recipes listed in
the Bob theater originals for the following time, creating the meals for a period of 7 days.
the homework.
The homework and the assignment.
Assignment. Make one of the recipes listed in your PowerPoint. How did it come out? I think you should need to share it with your instructor. Did you enjoy it? Describe the experience, taste, and how you could incorporate it into your daily routine.
Where are
What are the
recipes?
recipes?
Some recipes, right?
No.
No recipes.
No. Is that you created or what?
We create the recipes. From the list of, I say we have the recipe of what have in that book? Are there any recipes in that book?
No.
The Saint Watts book?
Yeah.
No.
What is the assignment?
It says to create a recipe
In PowerPoint.
that is from your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint does not have does not have recipes. It has food lists and possibly food recommendations. Maybe that's what they meant with.
Yeah, to mix it and make a recipe.
It says recipes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. We'll ask for tomorrow. See. I think even designing a recipe for a dosha, you know, you could sit and say, I'm gonna make a recipe for Vata, individual Vata initiation, a recipe for Pitta initiation, recipe for Kapha initiation. It's, you know, trying to think of what it is that you would put together, right? For lunch, which is the largest meal. What would you recommend for them, and what's using what spices and, yeah? Start thinking about things like that. You're gonna have clients that are gonna ask you for those things, right? Very
Right.
specifically, what do I eat?
What do I need to do?
What do I need to eat? And you have to be very specific. Some people, you have to be, you know, you can't just say, well, you need to stay away from, you know, these things. No, what do I, give me a diet and I will stick to it. I mean, you can't be bored with it either, so it has to be something that you know, that you can modify, that you can, right, they are gonna stick to. You gotta start thinking that way. And I know when we, not tomorrow, but next time that we meet, that Sunday, you all have those clients that are coming in, right? And there's a new one that's coming in, I think. There's a new client that's coming in.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a really good website called Joyful Belly.
Uh-huh,
I love it,
yeah.
and it tells it's got all these recipes,
Yeah.
like desserts and lunches and dinners.
Aren't those the ones that come up
For
on
different
Facebook that have all those
seasons
beautiful?
and-
Yeah. Yeah.
but
They
it's
come up.
amazing.
Local belly. But next time that you are meeting with these clients, they're, you know, we're gonna add nutrition in here. So you need to start thinking along those lines, especially those clients that you know are coming. I think there's two in particular, right? That couple, there's a couple that.
Oh, that were here
about.
before?
Yeah, I think they're
Oh,
coming.
Oh.
I believe they may be coming back, and then one other new person. So,
I'm interested to see how she's doing.
so we need
Who
to
was the
start
person?
thinking that way.
Must be what she's talking about. If they're coming back.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Acupuncture.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited to
Can't
see
believe
it.
that they're coming back. So, you know, we need to start thinking those recommendations that you gave them. Well, let's start incorporating now. What can we incorporate as far as?
Oh, and she's
and-
gonna be.
And very
Oh, it's
slowly.
my turn.
And remember, very slowly, right? Especially, you know, when you're.
She's really tough.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
like,
here's the
really
problem.
tough.
When you have an individual who she's an acupuncture physician, right?
Yeah.
So she already has this, she has this
Diabetic.
knowledge.
She's
Here's the knowledge.
diabetic. She's on the paleo diet.
Yeah.
She's eating meat with dairy all the time.
Yeah.
She's
So is her
super,
diet
super
food
vata.
combination.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
It's
yeah,
gonna
and
be
she won't have any, like,
Anything.
no honey, like, no sweet potatoes, no, like,
She tests every
How
single
she-
5 minutes she's in sleep,
she has
Like a monitor.
a monitor that goes off
Wait,
like
it's okay.
every 5 minutes.
5 minutes to check the sugar.
To check her sugar. She doesn't sleep at night. That poor girl's a mess. That's what I'm saying. I'm excited to see if she did what we had suggested, to see if she's kind of calmed down a little bit.
It's a good sign that she's coming back.
Yeah?
Yeah, you did good. We didn't think she was coming back, right?
No, we didn't think so.
No. Again, you know, when you speak to these individuals like that, especially like that, like you have to be slow and, you know, I know this to be, right? And recommend and make small changes. Like, we cannot want to fix that diabetes in one, you know, this is what you have to eat. No, you know, these are foods that you have to start incorporating. This is a sample recipe, you know, that I know will work for you. That type of approach. When you have individuals like that have such strong mind, you know, this is what I'm doing, and they obsess over that, so you have to watch that. It's a good exercise because you'll have clients like that. You know. I love that one of the things that I love about the school is that you all start seeing the clients. Even if, you know, we're talking about that, even if you don't think you know what you're doing, you start putting it into practice. That's the best way. Like, you learn to walk by walking and falling and standing up again. Right? So I think it's a great advantage that you all have. That you get to start doing that immediately. And don't be afraid, you know. If you make a mistake, don't make a mistake. You know, but go with that intuition seriously. You know, I mean, that's the way that we learn. We learn by making mistakes. Hopefully we won't make too many of them, but we learn that way. And once you start, you know, putting that into practice, it becomes easier. It becomes second nature. Like, you can just start talking to someone and just have a couple of things that they say, and you already know, hey, this is what I'm going to recommend. Because I already know what is, the biggest imbalance is always going to stick out. It's always going to show itself. Okay, so you have to remember that. The biggest imbalance will always show itself. So what is that I see? What is that I hear? What is that I feel? Okay? It's always going to show, because it's the imbalance. You're going to think that could be the nature, but no, that's the imbalance. And then you'll see that it doesn't match with the nature. You know, ask. Always ask. What are your concerns? What do you feel? What would you like to change? Because some people really want to change. They don't know how. They don't know, how to start either. They're so overwhelmed with so much that they have to do, they don't know where to start. It's like we can start slow, Some people are willing to make life changes, Some people will just say, I'm vegan now. But, not many make those changes and determinations. Depends on the dosha as well too. But, good. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. It's been a wonderful day. We covered a lot of information. We're going to go over some of this information again tomorrow. And I believe repetition is the mother of education. We need to repeat. We don't know who the father is yet, but repetition is the mother.